Welcome, everyone, to the February monthly Construction and Traffic Impacts webinar. I'm Wendy Thompson from the Streetcar team, and my role is to keep you informed about the project. Please don't hesitate to reach out and to me with your questions or concerns you might have. 2026 will be our biggest construction year because we are hitting several major milestones at once. It's likely going to feel very overwhelming. We know that behind every orange cone and detour is a person trying to get to work, a business owner trying to serve customers, or someone just trying to get home. We understand that these disruptions can be frustrating and exhausting. We don't take your patience for granted, and our goal is to help you navigate this year with confidence. Our entire team is committed not just to building the new infrastructure and the streetcar, but also to being good neighbors while we do it, minimizing disruptions wherever possible, and keeping you informed so you can plan your day. Before we dive into the specific street closures and utility work, I want to encourage you to make this session interactive. Please feel free to use the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen at any time. Don't wait for the session to end. Go ahead and type in construction and traffic questions as they come to mind, and we'll answer as we go or during our dedicated Q&A block. To help us navigate the complexities of the upcoming year, I'm joined by a group of experts who are overseeing every angle of this project. We have Mike True, Omaha Public Works Department and Streetcar Project Manager, Nate Williams, MUD Senior Plant Engineer, Steve Rue, Omaha Public Works Department Capital Construction and Street Maintenance Engineer, and Alyssa Smith, Omaha Public Works Department Media Relations Manager. So now I'd like to turn it over to Mike True.
Thank you, Wendy. Today's agenda will be covering these 10 main points. We'll go through work zone safety, overall schedule. MUD will give us an update on their gas relocation work, and then we'll go through the various packages, ending up with both the main line and VMF towards the end of it. Just as a reminder, when it does come to work zone safety, there's 4 key points we'd like to hit on there. Please stay alert, avoid cell phone use in particular, and any distracting passengers. Please follow all detours. This would include pedestrian and traffic detours. Don't follow, on that note, don't follow any of the construction vehicles into the work zones. If you see a dump truck going in a way, just wait and make sure that that is a way for you to continue. Also, we're asking you to try to plan ahead. Be patient, be courteous. Traffic is going to be a little bit slower through a lot of these work areas, but we're going to do our best to get in, get done, and be safe as we go. Our overall schedule, as you can see, we've got 3 of these projects that now have a check mark next to them. That's nice to see. And as you can see, 26 has got 5 active projects going on, including Turner Boulevard, Utilities East, the Vehicle Maintenance Facility, the Farnham Bridge, and the streetcar actual main line. We're getting tracks in the ground, making stops. Goal to have this open in Q3 of 2028. With that, we'll turn it over to MUD for their relocation update.
All right, thanks, Mike. We're over here, we're looking at phase 5 of our gas main work. So MUD has completed all gas main installation along Farnham Street, west of 20th. However, we do have a few gas services we still need to lower in this area. You can kind of see there, it's 2066 and 2054 Farnham. Gas main installation work is currently occurring at 20th and Farnham in the southeast corner of that intersection. That should be completed here pretty quick. Once other utility work in that area is completed, crews will shift to the northeast corner of that intersection to finish up that remaining work in that intersection. In addition, gas service work will start next week in the alley just south of Farnham between 19th and 20th to relocate 2 gas services off of Farnham to get those away from the future streetcar tracks. We anticipate our work in this area to be completed in March of 2026, barring any unplanned delays. Slide 2 shows our phase 8 in the Turner Boulevard area. We currently have 1 crew working at Farnham and Park Ave. We'll make our final connections at the end of this week which will include a temporary gas shutdown in that area. Customers have been notified of that gas service interruption. After that final connection, the crews will finish up backfilling and any remaining excavations and turn them over to the city for street repair. We anticipate this work in this area to be completed around February 13th, again, barring any unplanned delays. And then slide 3 just shows all 8 phases of our gas utility work. The remaining work is shown in red in phase 5 and 8 only. Again, we anticipate all gas main installation and service work to be completed in early spring of 2026, barring any delays. And that's all I had. I'll turn it back over to the city.
Thanks, Nate. Good news to hear. With that, we'll start going through the city managed construction projects, and we'll lead off with Mr. Rue on the I-480 bridges. Steve?
Thanks, Mike. So we'll start off with the I-480 bridges. Since the last update last month, we have continued the work on the 28th Street deep sewer manhole that's there. So that's kind of the reason if you're going that way for that immediate road obstruction. So we're working through that. There's other work to do along that same corridor to finish up that sewer work. If you live in the area, you are likely aware that we are driving pile for the abutments, and the piers is being driven. They're working through it pretty fast, so that work's progressing well. I know the noise is always a concern over there, but again, crews restrict work to what's allowed by the ordinance. So everything after 7 a.m., finishing up before 6. It's obviously right now it's dark, so it's a little bit shorter time period than that. And like I said, that work's going really quickly, at least for the type of work that it is. So we're working right through that. We'll get to actually building this bridge here pretty soon. Some upcoming work that we have going on, 28th and Farnham intersection. The remaining section of it going up towards Douglas is going to close next week for additional infrastructure work. We anticipate that closure lasting for 3 months. We have a signed closure. It's shown on the slide there. Harney to 24th, and then if you're trying to get back to Midtown, you can take Dodge back to the jug handle that's there at 33rd and turn and come down through the light there if that's where you're trying to go. If you're using your phone, depending on where you're trying to go, I use my phone every time I go downtown, double checking our traffic control and everything. It'll kind of route you different ways depending on where you're going to get you through the most efficient route. So if that's an option for you, I'd suggest that. Again, we're going to keep driving pile. New water main on 28th and Farnham intersections going in, and the storm sewer on 28th and Farnham. So this project so far is going really well. We're early on into it, but it's moving right along. East utilities package. So this is, again, out of our 3 utility packages, west is complete. That's everything from Turner to the west. Everything essentially from the other side of the bridge back to the east is this east package. This is our biggest footprint package. There are a lot of moving pieces going on down here, as you can see by the number of bubbles on the screen. Some places I wanted to touch on. 16th and Harney, that intersection is closed right now. We're trying to work through that work and coordinate with some upcoming shows that we know are in that area. We're anticipating getting that back open in the next week or two. Farnham 13th to 15th is closed for that work. We are anticipating that opening up in the next week. You can see it says road opening. 12th Street at Harney, we have marked as closed. I actually do not think that is closed right now at this moment. So I think that's open right now. So you can get through there. And then we have some other closures that, I know this is kind of, Mike's going to cover some of these as we go through. There's work on 8th from Douglas to Farnham and on Capitol. Those are both related to mainline, but I understand if you're down in that area, this all just looks like construction work to you. So, those are kind of like the main closures if you're down here between the utilities package and the mainline that we're kind of looking to avoid down there. Otherwise, you can see all that electrical work that's continuing out to the west. Farnham from 18th to 28th. There's a lot of work going on 24th Street right now. Our electrical contractor staying well out in front of everybody else. So that's been going really well, but it does make that spread of our work seem very wide right now. But project's going really well. So far, I'd say it's on schedule. Last package we have here, Turner Boulevard utility package. So out of the 3 packages, this is probably our smallest footprint area, most technical. So we are working in the intersection right now There is an extremely deep sewer manhole that's going to be reconstructed through here, as well as a bunch of water main work. So the deep sewer and water main work along Turner Boulevard and Harney from 29th is what's coming up. We started this a couple months ago. This project runs through the end of the year. Really, as the project goes, like the footprint doesn't change a lot as we go. It's kind of this very small area. It's just going to be that restriction until the end of April as we work through that deep work, get the water main in there, and then start working on paving back and opening things up. Again, I would like to mention, if you're trying to get to Midtown coming off of 480, we have the sign detour. There's lots of signs, so you really can't miss it. Get off on 28th, Harney, 24th, back over to the jug handle that's shown there, and then back in. When you go to leave, I would like to suggest, if possible, that you go to 33rd and utilize that light, especially if you're trying to turn left on Dodge. Right now, you can get through the park. You can go right or left there. However, it's probably just easier, especially if you're in that garage off of 33rd, to exit onto 33rd and leave that way. It'll save you a little headache. And that's kind of where we're at with those. Mike, I'm going to put you on the spot here. So I just got off the phone at the beginning of this. We are good to go on that two-way traffic
On Douglas.
traffic plan, so you can kind of talk through that if you'd like to.
All right. Thank you, Steve. So just a quick update for everyone. Each of these color-coded areas is a different zone that Kiewit has. The dates on there are the approximate anticipated work date. They're currently out at the west end, west of Turner, north side of Farnham, east end, in and around the Capitol Loop area. And as Steve just mentioned, we'll have a little update here on that. Next slide. So just generally what to expect as we continue to go through this. Start by demolition. If you go out to these areas, you'll see that the pavement is removed, traffic controls, water barrier is up. And then in some areas, we have plates going back in to maintain access, or we just simply didn't demolish a driveway, one of the two options. Next comes a civil crew. They've kicked off this week. Met a few of them on Tuesday. They go out there. They're going to be improving the drainage. They're going to be improving the ground, adding gravel base, putting in some of your electrical conduit, some of your other power returns, and a few other items, get everything prepped. After they're gone, you will have a track crew come in. Part of that track crew actually takes the 80-foot sticks that come off of a semi-truck, welds them up into 320 or 400-foot long pieces of steel that then get drug into place, and then again field welded together there. They are placed into a skeletonized track. So you're going to have your rebar crew out there tying this up, making sure that the track stays exactly in place during the pour, and again for perpetuity. That all then gets encased in concrete. And as you noticed in the concrete and the previous slide, as soon as possible, we do try to return traffic control back to where we can. Once concrete's cured, hardened, everything else, then comes a cleanup and striping crew, that's when you'll start to see a lot of your appurtenances go back, benches, stops, whatnot, after the track goes in. Track goes in first, stops are made last. So that's what you can expect to see as all these different ones go through. West End, as Steve mentioned with his Turner project, Turner Boulevard is closed, so we have restricted traffic from going past 31st, turning into Turner Park. You can get into Midtown east of 33rd. It is eastbound only. You can park on the south side, and you can either utilize the 33rd Street garage, or you can go down to the garage that's just north of Harney and then exit through Harney there. Or again, if you want to park directly on the road, you can exit through Turner Park. And they're out to about 35th right now. They've demolished up to about 34th. They're getting out there with everything else, and they'll continue to work that way. And then the civil crew is starting out on the other end, and they'll be out here soon to get their work going as well. And this will be what to expect coming up. This will begin next week, February 9th. And they'll be getting out to about 37th Street. And again, for the rest of this project, other than this short little duration in the area and around Turner, it's going to be westbound only along Farnham. So. All right, Capitol Avenue. Right now, the turn to Capitol Avenue, if you're local traffic from 10th to 9th, that is still open, but that'll be shutting here soon. You have the alternate option to get up there. You can go down Douglas and turn up. To exit the area, you can use the right side of the screen and go out to Riverfront Drive and up to Abbott to return west. Or as Steve just mentioned, we now have verbal approval from the state. We will be making Douglas Street two-way access, and we can include that in some updated slides when we post this on what that'll look like. We're going to have to go down and inform a lot of the stakeholders along here, and we'll have an updated exhibit for the next webinar. But there will now be two options. If you come down here and into this area to exit, you can go a more circuitous and scenic route on Riverfront, or Douglas Street will be two-way, and then when you come back, you'll have the right turn onto 10th. All right. This is the next closure coming up. They're going to be starting to set up barricades now. It is not fully closed along 8th Street yet. Right now, they're doing some precursor activities, particularly potholing, trying to find other utilities, but they will have full closures there. I believe this is the orange and the yellow arrow should be a little bit further up. You can get into the garage there coming off of Harney, turn in, and then turn back out and exit onto Harney, or you can come down Farnham, turn down, and go into the garage as well. But this will be, Farnham will be, at this point, will be eastbound only for 10th while this particular work is performed. And this should start the week of the 9th. I believe it's the 11th. They intend to actually get a full closure depending on weather. And once this happens, you can see Douglas Street to the north. You'll be able to come to the east on that south leg of Douglas. And the intent will be to then go west on the north leg. But we'll get, like I said, an updated exhibit, include that when we post this slide deck. Rail laydown is coming. The first areas will be to the west and to the east. Out west, it'll be near 42nd and Farnham. They'll again start off by offloading from the pickup or from the semis pickups from the semis, and it'll be 80-foot sticks. And then they'll have a welding crew come out in a couple weeks, weld all that up into either 320 or 400. Arrow showing approximately where that laydown is going to be. The next one is going to be. Oh, you're pointing out where construction starts. Okay. We'll have another one here on the east. Next arrow. See if that pops. There you go. We're going to be on the south side of Farnham, where again you'll see approximately 80-foot sticks of steel come in, and then they'll have a crew after it goes to the west. Will come to the east, weld it up into longer sections. That then usually in the evening at night, we're going to have to coordinate that for some additional traffic control during low volume hours. It'll get drug into place and welded in the field. Vehicle maintenance facility. This is another good part of this project. All the vertical steel is up. Here's what it somewhat looks like from the inside. Last Thursday or Friday, they started swinging some of their first pieces in, and this is going to start getting closed up with the precast steel. This is on schedule. We anticipate this to open in about or be ready to start receiving OSA vehicles, start really getting staffed out. This is where OSA will be headquartered here in the next 14 months plus or minus. But yeah, this one's been exciting. You can see the interstate behind it, and the picture on the left is showing the large bay where they'll actually be working on the cars, and then back into the right kind of shows the mezzanine area where all the office spaces is going to eventually be for OSA. Construction progress, just as a reminder, this is going to be, we have this dashboard up on our website, and as you can see, for instance, on Blackstone, all the gas work is complete. In fact, most of these, as our friends at MUD pointed out, most of the gas work is completed along here. And this shows you gas work, other major utility work that's underneath city contract, and then the mainline work as well. So if you want to go and see what your neighborhood, your general area is looking like, you can get a better understanding of where each of the different phases of construction activities are at. And with that, I believe, yep, we're on to construction communication, and I will believe this goes to Alyssa.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining us today. So we have several opportunities for public involvement and ways for you to gather information. Every Wednesday morning, we're hosting office hours at various locations from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., myself and at least one or two other team members will be there to answer questions. It's a very casual setting where you can come in, ask anything you want, and we will do our best to answer it right there on the spot with you. We bring maps and everything with us to be able to show that to you. Next week, we'll be at Early Bird in Blackstone area. You can find all of our other future meeting locations on our website, and we also send those out in a weekly email. And then, of course, we have our first Wednesday of every month webinar. This is a chance for you to hear directly from Mike and Steve and all of the team members that are involved in this day-to-day. Our next webinar will be March 4th at noon. And then another way to get more information, if we can go to the next slide here, we have our website and weekly construction updates that go out. On our website in the construction update section, you can drop down and go to the neighborhood that you're in. And every Thursday, we update that Thursday afternoon or first thing Friday morning. That gets updated with what the next week will look like. You can also sign up and get that information through an email newsletter that goes out each week. And then finally, we have our passport program. This program is happening now and goes through the end of March. You can pick up a passport at any participating business. You'll see those future writers, those big kind of greenish posters in the windows so you know who's participating. You can also come down to City Hall on the 6th floor. You can collect passport stickers and then be entered to win a prize. So if you have not been participating in that, please pick one up, and you can also find all of the businesses, a directory of the businesses participating on our website as well. Other ways to get in touch, Wendy and myself are always available to answer questions. You can see both of our contact information here, email or phone number. Feel free to give us a call and we will get back to you.
Thank you, Alyssa. Sorry, I'm having some difficulties here. Thank you, Alyssa. We have not gotten any specific construction or traffic questions, either through the website or through our session here. So I guess we get to wrap this up a little bit early today, but for the future, if you would like to send in any questions, either through email or through when you sign up for this webinar, please feel free to do that. And we will have our team answer it. And I actually did just get a late question here. It says, Mike, can you cover the track work in Blackstone, 39th Street again?
Yeah, we can, if you can pull up that slide again, real quick, in and around the intersection just west of 42nd and Farnham on the north block of Farnham. We're going to have, with a farthest on the left side of your screen, that orange arrow should be pointing to, well, that'll be the after it's welded up where it'll wind up being. We're coordinating with the entities along there, along with Kiewit Building Group, which is different than their construction group for this particular type of civil work. Access to that area, we're going to go in there, weld it up, and then pull it to the other side of 42nd Street, and that'll be the rail stockpile for everything west of Turner, everything in the two-way pair. So I am not entirely certain if you have a more specific part of that, but essentially it's going to be 80 feet and then it gets welded into longer sections and sits in the north parking lane or the parking area. Yeah.
I believe the person that asked that question was asking more about segment 7-3, which we show that construction starts in March of 2026, and we'll definitely prepare people once we kind of get the traffic control and the dates from the contractor for that.
Okay. Yeah, we do not have their temporary traffic control plans in and approved, and that'll be similar to the work that's now occurring in the middle of there. They're going to continue to just have their demolition crew bounce between here and the east end of the project and open up ground for their civil crew to go work on then.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you for the question. So with that, um,
Thank you everyone for who's attended, and thank you for the one question. This is going to be the heaviest construction year. It's not going to be the easiest, and we're going to do our best to work with you and try to get everything moving through quickly and as effectively as possible. So thank you for your patience, and please reach out to us. We'll see what we can do.
have a great day.